I'm going to take you with me today to try to give you an idea of what it takes to maintain a garden like this, so that if you're planning on starting a garden, you can have a realistic expectation of what you can handle personally. A lot of gardeners on social media make it look too easy, myself included sometimes, but that's not intentional. If you're showing all the boring, tedious work that you're doing, it's not going to hold people's attention. They're just going to scroll. It's not entertaining. Someone like myself who did almost exclusively vertical short form content, it's impossible to include all of that. But now I'm going to be doing more of this long form content where I can show you everything that's involved. Today's Sunday, so I'm going to be doing a little bit of everything, but this isn't just a Sunday or a weekend thing. This is really a lifestyle. It's pretty much 7 days a week. The weekends are the days that I tackle those projects that I really can't get into with the few hours that I have during the week after work. So all the things that I've been looking at through the week, like I really need to get that done, I'm just out here trying to knock as much of that out as possible. But even in the few hours I have left in the day after work, there's never not something for me to do. I'm either canning and preserving, just doing basic maintenance, harvesting, cooking. There's always something that needs done. All right, let's get to it. First thing I'm going to do is some sunflower maintenance. I've actually already gotten started on this. I did a short video earlier about what I do with my sunflowers when they die. This is the one I took down. If you want to check that out, it will be posted. But I'm going to get in here and just really clean a lot of these up. First thing I'm going to do is go through all these, find any leaves that are wilted, dead, have any mildew on them or anything, and get rid of all those. Now they look like sunflower trees, which doesn't give us as much privacy, but they look pretty cool. I have a dead one down here that I need to get rid of, but I'm going to do some investigating and see if I can figure out what happened. This is insects or root rot, something, not 100% sure. Yeah, I think it's root rot. This is going to come right out of the ground. Sunflowers don't do that. I'm going to cut into the base of the stem here and see if I can figure out if there's any insects or anything in there. It's a little soft, but there's nothing in there. Probably just has something to do with all the rain we've been getting. Stock's still good. I keep these shorter ones. I dry them out and use them for kindling. Head's still full of seeds. We'll put that up there for the birds. This is my loofah, and I'm at the point where I have to weave these vines through this arch pretty much every other day now because it's just growing so fast. If you plan on growing loofah, there is going to be some maintenance to it, especially when it gets like full growth, because these vines, I swear, are growing several feet every day. So if you don't maintain it and keep it in the arch, start weaving it so it's going back and forth, then it will take over your whole entire garden. Everything around here would eventually just be consumed by this plant. So I'll probably do this for maybe another week because we're just starting to get loofah, and then I'll just start pruning these vines off because it's just not going to be able to handle all of this. I don't even know what to do with what's on here right now. I may have to cut some of these out today. That's just getting to be too much. I'm going to start pruning off the new growth from here on out. We had a little setback on the loofah from the heat waves this year, so I don't know how we're going to do as far as getting sponges. We'll see. This stuff is broken down really well. The only thing left in there is some rocks and some big sticks. Now I'm going to empty these tumblers and get them sifted. After that, these are going to stay empty until spring because You can't really compost very well in the winter in a tumbler because it just tends to stay frozen solid. I do all my winter composting in the big bin. To empty these, they're always very low to the ground, so I just get a litter box from the dollar store, fits right underneath there. Then I do my first sift with the fresh compost. That's stuff I did earlier. I already done a first sift on it, so I'll put this in the milk crate for a first sift, and that'll just get all the big clumps and everything out. All those big clumps, those are gonna go in this bin, and we're gonna put those back in the big compost bin here when we're done. I don't know how so many worms get into a compost tumbler that's off the ground, but this is just full of them. I never added any worms to my compost either. This is how I garden without store-bought fertilizer. Beautiful homemade compost. I already added some of what I sifted out to this tumbler, which will be finished before winter. I'm gonna add the rest to this big bin, and like I said, I'm gonna let this go till spring. I'm gonna add some ground up eggshells to both of these. Since carbon or your brown material is difficult to come by this time of year, I mostly just rely on shredded paper and cardboard. This is the last that I'm going to add to this tumbler. I'm just going to let this finish from here on out. I have my kitchen scraps. This is going to go in the big bin. I only use rainwater in my compost. A little water in here. I'll just give that a half a turn for now. In the bin, I just use one of these hand tillers. These are pretty cheap. I think they're much cheaper than the actual compost bin turners you can get. I've never used one of those compost bin turners, but I feel like these do a better job. All right, now I gotta get all my bins and stuff cleaned up, and I think I'm gonna harvest some tomatoes. My tomato plants have obviously seen better days. Within a week, I'm gonna be ripping these things out, but I'm gonna go through right now and harvest anything that's starting to turn. Even with the leaf spot, we've gotten some really good tomato harvests this year. We've actually had a really good season. I've had no blossom end rot. Cracking has been minimal. The only thing really is the shape of the plants. I mean, they've produced really well. I just grabbed a few okra I saw in there too, and I got these Bueno Mulatas because I'm gonna do something with these right now. I got a bunch of these Bueno Mulatas here, and I wanna get these in the dehydrator before I clean everything up and call it a day. Anytime I'm dehydrating hot peppers, I do it in the garage because the smell can be pretty overwhelming in the house. I store the compost that I sifted in this bin, and I'll just use it as I need it. So I'll just put the lid on this, and I'll put it somewhere in the shade where I keep it. Doesn't get any full sun at all, and all those worms and bugs and bacteria in there will stay alive and they'll continue to do their thing. So that's a typical day of basic chores. I'll also get the grass cut and do all that kind of stuff on the weekends, which I was able to get done yesterday before it rained. And that doesn't include any projects that I have going on at the time, and there's always something, whether I'm building a greenhouse, raised beds, there's always a project going on because we're always expanding here and adding new things. There's always things that need repaired and maintained. If you miss a few days, it can really start to get away from you. I've pushed this to the point where it's very hard to keep up sometimes. I do get burnout and sometimes things just don't get done. And Lish is a big help. She keeps this place completely weed free and she takes care of all the flowers, which is a lot of work. Everyone wants the big garden that they see on social media, but my advice to everyone is start small and figure out what you're able to manage. You don't want to just jump into some huge garden, get burnt out immediately, and not even be able to enjoy it. This isn't a hobby at this point, it's a lifestyle, and it's not easy, but I love it. It's not for everybody. If you really enjoy your social life and taking a lot of vacations, maybe it's not the best idea. I personally would rather be sitting out here looking at everything that I created than sitting on a beach somewhere. It's the end of August, but we still got a lot going on this season, so if you want to follow along, make sure you subscribe.